Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing very well. Today I'll be breaking down this concept that I showcased before, which involves fusioning with a very little amount of TNT, and there are also some more very good benefits with this, and I'm just showing how it works and what those benefits are now. So this is a regular 240 fusion that shoots about 35 chunks, an efficient one. So I'm just going to break it down how it works, and you probably might already know how it works, but you should listen anyway so you understand the next part. So this is your slide bust here, this is your sand, because the sand would come here, then drop all the way down to about here, then get shot out, and then on the second shot your one shot sand and hammer will get shot out. Now if you notice, everything is at different distances away from the power, and since everything is at different distances away from the power, there's going to be a variation in exposure to power, which means everything is going to move differently when it gets shot out. So some things are going to drop sooner, some things are going to go straight, some things might clip. And with this concept that I made, which is, I call it parallel fusioning. I called it something else in my previous video because I didn't want to give it away what it was, because I wasn't sure if I was going to make this breakdown video, releasing it as well. So yeah. So with this cannon, everything comes through here and ends up in this 1x1 and gets shot out. Now, works exactly like normal fusion. So one side will go off first, then 2 repeated ticks later, this side will go off. So, your sand, your slide bust, and your nuke is going to get shot out first, so it's going to come through here, go on top over these trapdoors. It's going to go here, hit here, then drop, and it's going to drop a bit more, and right before it hits that trapdoor there, the first power is going to shoot it out. And we want it to be as close to the power as possible, so it's right above the trapdoor before it gets shot out, so it gets maximum exposure to power, so it goes further. Then, as soon as that gets shot out, this massive booster here is going to push all this hammer into midair to about here, and whilst that is shooting all that hammer to here, this piston is going to push that red sand out to here, and then this booster, then when they all meet here, this booster is then going to push it all out, and then it's going to hit here, and then it's going to drop a tiny bit right above the trapdoor before it actually hits it, and then this power is going to shoot it out. And since everything gets shot out when it's in this point, shot 1 and shot 2 are identical, which is why I call it parallel fusioning. So the first shot is very identical. It's basically statistically exactly identical in the shots. So here's a bit of a graph to demonstrate it. So this is the sand here and the hammer. So whatever the hammer does, the sand is going to do. So if the hammer drops 1 block because it's running out of power, the sand will also drop 1 block. For this cannon here, that wouldn't be the same because they have different exposures. Like, the slide bust and the sand is closer to the power than the one-shot sand and hammer, so the hammer and one-shot sand will start dropping before the sand does. So it would look something like this. It wouldn't really drop 1 block like straight away, it's just I couldn't really show it any other way. So, I'm just going to show how people still think that, like, if you're using a fusion cannon, it would still work on filters, but it's not really the case. Because what happens is, your sand would hit here, and then your hammer would have dropped a tiny bit, so it would still hit this, but it would be slightly lower, and it would still hybrid and all that. But then when you get to here, your sand will be able to go over, but your hammer won't be, and your hammer will clip here. And then you're going to have all sorts of issues. Whilst with this concept, say if you have a so if your sand hits here, this block, your hammer is guaranteed to hit it as well and stack in a hybrid. So there's basically, so if you clip, you'll just hybrid it, you'll just stack and hybrid the clip. If you don't clip and you go right through, then everything goes right through. There's no variation between shots, which is really nice. And this also helps with one-shot regen busting, because I know one-shot regen busters, most of them either work at a short distance and not a long distance. It's either one or the other because of variation of exposure. So with this concept, you can shoot at short and long distance with a one-shot regen buster, which is really nice for some people, like on Cosmic and stuff like that. So that's how it works. Now, a lot of people were bizarre about how much power it uses. So it uses about 192 dispensers, and the reason why it goes so far with so little power is because everything is right next to the power, including the hammer. And with the usual piston layout like this on a normal cannon, it would do something like this. So as soon as if your hammer and one-shot sand starts dipping to a certain point, like for example on this graph, it would stop working right here and it wouldn't go further. Whilst with this concept, that doesn't apply. And it's actually funny because right when it blows, so say if it blows up mid-air like right here, the hammer, it could still stack on the wall right here. Maybe like 5 blocks back, because even though everything is still in the same point exactly, they're not exactly in the same point. It's like the one-shot sand goes 6 blocks further than the sand, I believe, which is statistically nothing to consider, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah. So basically, when the first couple of 230s came out, their piston design was like this. So your hammer would be 6 blocks away from the power. Then it got simplified, and then with my concept, it's less than 2 blocks away. It's about 1.25 blocks away from the power, which stops that from happening. Now, back onto the efficiency thing. I went way off topic. Uses 192 dispensers. So it's 16 long and 16 and 6 tall. Now, inadvertently, this is 6 long and 16 tall. And this was the power design that people used when 230s first came out. It could go, I think, about 22 chunks. And it's quite funny because that can go 22 chunks with a normal cannon, and this can go 23 chunks with a fusion power, which I think is quite funny. And that's all because of this, because of that uses this design, whilst this uses this design, so everything's a lot closer. And you can also left shoot with this concept, and I'm not releasing this cannon with the left shooter on it. I don't want to release all the goodies I have in my bag, but yeah. So all you want to do to left shoot with this cannon is you just want to add more power here, and then, well, you can make your own, of course, but I'm just showing how it would work with this cannon. And then when you want to left shoot, all you got to do is half the delay between the first power and the second power, so it creates a slab guider effect. But if you want to use it with a left shooter that uses a trapdoor guider, then it won't work, unfortunately. So yeah, so just to show that it does shoot at 23 chunks, you can just count these chunk borders on the side. I know you believe me, but just for evidence. So let me just fix this wall. So this is about 23 chunks out. Alrighty. So yeah, so the download for this cannon will be in the description, of course, because I know a lot of you guys wanted it, so it will be there. So everything else with the cannon is normal. Auto vanities, everything's like that. There's nothing else special going on. It's just the layout of the barrel. That's all it really is. And then if we go over to the cannon now, to the wall, you'll see it's stacked, hybrid, nuked, whatever. And this does also slab bust, of course. And yeah, let me just think. Did I miss anything? No, actually, I'll show this example before I go. So this is only with 6 dispensers, so it's not going to look like that much of a difference. So with this mini cannon, the power is right next. The hybrid is right next to the power and blows up here. Oh, I should put all my animations on. And you'll see it blows up there, and then this one over here blows up slightly shorter in distance. That's because it's 1 block away. And what is it? It's like 5 blocks. No, it's like 4 blocks difference, 3 blocks difference. And this is only with 6 dispensers. So if you can multiply that by like 100 dispensers or something, by like 100 times, that means it'll make like a, not exactly 300 block difference, but it'll make like a big difference in the long run. Just a bit of an example there if you didn't really understand how it worked. So that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'm not too good with tutorials, but the only way to really explain it, this concept, was to do a voice tutorial rather than a text tutorial. So yeah, have a nice day.